Hi everyone, Peter here from Nocky's Diecast Customs. Just wanted to show you my latest build that I've just finished up for a client. It's a Range Rover P38 model. It started off looking something very similar to this one, which I'll show you in a minute just as a comparison. And it's had quite a bit of custom work on it. To get it to look like this. So just having a look around, has a new front bumper with a winch mounted on there, headlight guards built on, and I cut a piece of the air dam off there. On the side I've removed some of the side sill and built a bar there for a rock slider kind of bar. Has new tyres and wheels, obviously. I think you can see under there these yellow springs. They're about 4 or 5 times the size of the original springs, and it's had a suspension lift as well. Coming around the back, has this rather different tyre mount. We saw this on a real Range Rover that I spotted on the internet, and thought that looked quite cool, so I tried that out. Actually, it's a wee bit delicate. Folds down, so the tyre rack folds down out of the way, and then you can get into the back of the Range Rover. In the back I've made a wee slide out with some leather handles, and it doesn't want to come out, which is a little bit frustrating when you try these things sometimes on for the first time. Oh. Yeah, it's just a little bit, I've painted it recently and there's just a little bit of extra friction on, so that'll have to be something, but that slides out, and just pop that back in. Also has a little bit hard to see on there, a leather topped cover for the back there, just to add a little bit of extra luxury in. So I'll pop that back up. On the other side, again, just the wheels, slider bar, and all those parts. And on the top, oh, you can see on the front. Okay, on the top is a rack, and you can see these magnetic points that I've got sitting on there. The person I'm making it for had the idea of putting a rooftop tent on it, so I've made this one with some magnets sitting on the bottom that should line up. I just pop it on there. Sits there quite nicely, as you can see. The canvas I've found has a fairly realistic sort of weight to it, if you like, popping down. And because I like functional models, I actually thought I'd build a working rooftop tent. So you can pull these off. These are magnetic tie downs. Just clip on underneath. Take the roof off, and I'll have to move the car over a little bit. And actually I'll pop her out that way, it's a little bit easier to see. So it has a ladder on here, so you would, actually got it on the wrong side. So if you were standing on the ground, you'd grab the ladder there. Oops. Now what I did forget is I've also got these magnetic clasps to actually hold it down tight. So if you're standing on the ground here, where is it? I have a little figure He's a bit short actually, but the truck is quite tall, so if he was standing here he'd reach up and you'd pull it over like that so that the folds out that way. And I'll just adjust the camera a little bit, and the ladder slides down to hold it like that. Okay, and there you have your rooftop tent. If I just carefully lift it and turn it around, so that would sit like that. You can also roll up the front. It's a wee bit fiddly trying to do this in front of the camera. So you'd roll that up, and on the inside I have some little magnetic tie downs as well, so you just sort of fold those over. I could have done a wee bit tidier, but I think you get the idea. And they just sort of clamp that down. Obviously you tidy that up nicely. And then once that's all sitting there, you can pop inside and you can have a snooze, just like on the real one. It was quite challenging to build the tent, a lot harder than building the truck actually. If you can see inside, it doesn't look like you can just see there's these sort of lines here. So there's three parts to the frame. So when you're ready to pack up, fold the ladder, push it over, and it all just folds over nicely to put the cover on top. So I'll just pop that off over there. So now we're back to standard truck without the rooftop tent. Just to give you some idea, now this Range Rover has another bull bar on that I'm just playing with, but this is a original height, so you can see it's considerably higher. It's probably about a 6 to 8 inch lift, plus the size of the tyres gets it right up in the air, and has full working suspension. The original's kind of got working suspension, but it's not as particularly good. And just to give you an idea, I've got a slightly lifted Land Cruiser as well on bigger tyres, so it is quite a large truck now in comparison. And I'll just pop that one over there. And just to demonstrate the suspension, it will flex quite well. So you can see that sitting up. It's a bit hard to tell, but the back wheel's on the ground. So if I pop around that way, you can see she's capable of flexing quite well on there. And in fact, if I put another, I show it that way around. So two wheels up, we'll almost get the front wheel on the ground as well. So quite nice, fairly softly sprung. Took a while to tune the springs for this one, so she sits quite nicely. So if the person that gets this may want to put it in a diorama or something, sitting up. Yeah, and of course it's got all the standard features. So it's an AUTOART model. I might have missed that at the beginning. All the doors open. should open. Quite a nice model. The hood or the bonnet opens, but a typical AUTOART doesn't stay up, which is a little annoying. So there you go. One rough and tough Range Rover ready to go.